Before anything else, I need to ask you a question. Not a rhetorical question. Not a question to impress you. A real question, one I want you to take seriously for a moment before continuing. How many of the decisions you made today were truly yours? The way you reacted when someone contradicted you. What you felt when you saw a family member's name on your phone. How quickly you apologized or didn't apologize. What you think you deserve. What you think you don't deserve. How you deal with silence. What makes you feel guilty for no clear reason. Invisible inheritance is not what's written in the will. It's not the apartment, the money, the objects left behind after someone goes. Invisible inheritance is what no one would invent. What has no name in the registry. What is passed on not in documents, but in silences, in patterns, in automatic responses you have before thinking, in fears that appear with no clear origin, in ways of loving that were never chosen but are there, operating, shaping, passing on. It's what your father did when he was under pressure, and what you do now, without realizing it. It's what your family considered normal, and what you still treat as law, even if you've questioned everything else. It's the tricky question someone asked you before you knew there was a trap in it. It's the body that learned to shut down before the mind learned to explain why. Invisible inheritance is everything you received before you could choose to receive it. And most importantly, what justifies every video in this series is that invisible inheritance is not destiny. It's a starting point. And the difference between the two depends entirely on one thing. If you can see what you're carrying. This series has 5 videos. Each one explores a different facet of the same inheritance. The first talks about lenses, about how you were taught to see the world before you had a choice in the matter, and why this explains almost every conflict you've had with people you respect. The second talks about occupation, about what you learned you need to do to deserve to exist, and what happens in the body and mind when this belief has never been questioned. The third talks about questions, about how certain ways of asking control the answer before you open your mouth, and how this shaped what you can or cannot say about yourself. The fourth talks about the body, about the language that doesn't use words, about what you were taught about feeling and showing, and about what happens when this language is used to control instead of connect. And the fifth talks about the man who came before you, about the curve every father-son relationship follows, and about what that curve leaves behind that you're still processing, consciously or not. What are you carrying that you didn't choose? And what will you do with it now that you can see it? Before you begin, I need to be honest about what you won't find here. There is no promise of quick transformation, no 10-step method, no formula that solves in 21 days what was built over decades. If that's what you're looking for, there are many other channels that sell that, and some sell it well. Not here. What exists here is something slower and more honest. It's the belief that seeing clearly precedes any real change. That naming is the first act of transformation. That you can't choose differently until you can see what you're choosing and why. Awareness doesn't solve everything, but absolutely nothing changes without it. Invisible inheritance is not therapy. It doesn't replace a therapeutic process. It's not journalism. It's not motivation. It's a serious conversation about things that matter, made with respect for your intelligence and the real complexity of life. You didn't choose the starting point. No one does. But you're here, which means on some level, something in this question called to you. Something in what you carry wants to be seen, wants to be examined, wants, perhaps, to be put in the right place, instead of continuing to operate in the dark. This series is for those who are ready for that, not for those who want easy certainties. For those who can sit with the discomfort of seeing what was always there, and that no one had pointed out yet. You didn't choose the starting point, but you can choose how far you'll go. Welcome to Invisible Inheritance. The first episode starts now. This is invisible inheritance. Everything you received before you could choose to receive it.